for progression is essential to ensure that you're making well-informed decisions about your future. So watch this video to find out a little bit more about what your options are and the factors which are important to consider when making a decision. The aim of the video is to present different options available to you after your current course and to help you consider which option might be the best for you. The first progression option we'll look at is higher education, which refers to any qualification at level 4 or above. Lots of you will associate higher education with university, and you'd be absolutely right because university is classed as higher education. Students go to uni for all different kinds of reasons, and here are some reasons why some students have chosen to go to university in the past. So why not pause the video and have a read of them and think about if your thoughts are the same. The cost of university can often put students off from applying, as sometimes students think there is an upfront cost which there's not. There is financial support from the government in the form of student loans which you may be entitled to support you with your studies. For example, there is the tuition fee loan which is paid directly to the university to cover the cost of the course, and you can also access a maintenance loan which is paid directly to you to help you with the cost of your rent, your bills, books, and even socialising. This is based on your family circumstances, and depending on how much your family household earns, you may be eligible for grants too. It's worth remembering that higher education doesn't have to mean going to university. If you don't feel like university is the right environment for you, there are still other pathways you can take to achieve a higher level qualification. So let's have a look at some. There are different ways of reaching level 6, which is considered to be a graduate level qualification. So the typical route you can see to the far left of the picture, so the first arrow, is the 3 years bachelor degree at university. But there are also alternative ways of reaching this. So if we move right, so then you have the 3 years degree at university, but also which includes a foundation year. So that's really good for those students who might not necessarily meet the entry requirements to go straight onto a degree. So you can start with a foundation year. You then have the HNC qualification, followed by the HND with the option of a top-up course. They are separate qualifications, but you can sort of progress from one level to the next if that's what your aspirations are. Then you have the foundation degree with the option of the top-up course if you wanted to top that up. You then have a degree apprenticeship, and then you have a higher apprenticeship, which is typically level 4 or 5, with the option then of topping that up with an employer-funded qualification. So those are all your different routes of achieving a higher level qualification. Degrees with a foundation year. So these are a really good option for students who may not typically meet the entry requirements for the 3-year degree programme. Some competitive courses like medicine and veterinary science have gateway programmes which include foundation year, and these are part of their widening participation schemes to support students from disadvantaged backgrounds to get onto their programmes. So it's worth checking them out to see if you meet the eligibility criteria. Foundation degrees. So foundation degrees are 2-year courses which are equivalent to the first 2 years of an honours degree. These are a good option for students who may only require a foundation degree for their chosen career path, or for those students who perhaps aren't ready to go to university, as there are plenty of colleges which offer foundation degrees with the option of completing a 1-year top-up course at the college or another university. The foundation degrees typically have slightly lower entry requirements and reduced tuition fees too. Here at the Sheffield College, we offer a wide range of foundation degrees, some with the option of progression onto a 1-year top-up course at the college. Higher and degree apprenticeships. Another alternative to university is higher and degree apprenticeships, which involve working and studying part-time, with your employer funding the tuition fees for your qualification. You will get a salary as part of your apprenticeship, so you earn whilst you learn, and higher and degree apprenticeships exist in lots of sectors, including business and finance, healthcare and science, engineering, construction, IT, and many more. Higher and degree apprenticeships are competitive due to the small number of vacancies which are available, so it's important that individuals have a strong application, but also a backup plan in place, which may include applying to university. So, apart from HE study, what other options are there? Well, there is the option of going straight into employment. Not limited to, but these have been identified as some of the top employers in the Sheffield City region and might be a starting point or give some pointers about where to look for full-time employment. So we've got health and social care sector, so maybe entry-level positions within the NHS, so whether that's as a care assistant or perhaps working on reception. We've got education, we've got wholesale and retail, manufacturing, public administration, and creative and digital. So, for example, maybe higher apprenticeships within the sort of creative digital sector, but also freelance work as well if you are kind of leaving college with a creative course behind you. Opportunities with training. These are some ideas for employment that might offer some training or future progression. Although many people think that apprenticeships are aimed at 16 to 18-year-olds, many start after 19 and could be an option to consider after a level 3 qualification. So whether that is to progress into a higher or degree level apprenticeship or to do a sideways move into a level 3 advanced apprenticeship, that's not uncommon. There is school leaver programs, but these tend to be with larger companies and act in the same way as a graduate scheme would. However, they tend to be aimed at students who have done A-levels rather than BTECs and are usually located in bigger cities like Leeds, Manchester and London, for example. There are also trainee positions, so by searching for trainee positions on general job sites, that might throw up positions that allow for professional progression within a company. Employability in finance, so graduate versus non-graduate. So feel free to pause this video and read some of the quotes that are on this PowerPoint presentation. And this is aimed to get you to think about the long-term employment opportunities and financial implications of having a degree. So, now we have explored your options, what steps can you take to help you decide? Firstly, have a think about what your end goal is. If that's to achieve a certain job, explore all of the different entry routes. Think about whether you need a degree or whether you can do an apprenticeship or go straight into employment. It's also okay to not know what you want to do either, but it's important that you know what your progression options are. Have a think about if you've done enough research to make an informed decision. So have you attended open days? Have you researched employment opportunities and employers? Do you understand what the job is going to entail? Have you thought about the opportunities which it could lead you to afterwards? If the answer is yes and you do feel like you've done enough research, weigh up the pros and cons of each option to help you decide which one's going to be best for you. Then think about what it is exactly that you want and which would suit you best. We are in challenging times, so we always encourage students to have a backup plan, but it's important to have one now more than ever. So if you are thinking about an apprenticeship or employment, why not consider applying for a course as a backup plan? And that way you have the option there if you do need something to fall back on. To help you with your research, if you are wanting to find out more about careers, there is Kudos that the college has access to, but there's also the National Careers website as well. Both of these platforms have personality tests on there, but they also have lots of information about different job profiles. There is the Prospects website, mainly aimed at graduate level students, but this has comprehensive job profiles and useful advice which is applicable to everybody. And there's also iCould, which hosts the Buzz Quiz. Here are some more really useful websites to help you research your options, including our own Careers Service SharePoint page. To help you research employment options, please pause the video to look at all of the different websites that can help you research apprenticeship and employment vacancies. To increase your experience, feel free to have a look at voluntary opportunities at the Sheffield Volunteer Centre. For updates and advice about careers, follow us on Twitter and don't forget to check out our YouTube channel. A lot of you may be feeling a little confused about what to do, but the careers team are here to help you. So want to discuss this further, you can book an appointment using those links, or alternatively, you can go onto the Career Service SharePoint and follow the page which says book a careers appointment.